All right, it's 7 o'clock. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No need for roll call. Everybody's present tonight. Approval of minutes under old business. The regular meeting minutes of May 21st, 2026 were provided for review. So I need a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of May 21st, 2026 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Mr. Gardner.
Yes.
Mr. Kirby.
Yes.
Mr. Kowalski.
Yes.
Mr. Garvey.
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Mr. Pierce.
Yes.
Mr. Brungard.
Yes.
Mrs. Hatcher.
Yes.
Motion passed. Audience participation. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to address the council on an item that is not on the agenda? Please come forward and state your name and address.
Tom Lahan, 526 South Hickory Trail. I'd just like for somebody to give us an update as to what the status is on that shopping center that's on the northeast corner of Mary Street that has been talked about and passed and all that good stuff, but haven't seen anything happening. So I was wondering if you can tell me what's going on. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we can tell you what we can tell you, which is we know that there's 3 stores coming in for sure. We're pending other leases, so until those get done, you're not going to start moving dirt. And the 3 are Ross, Marshalls, and Five Below. So once the rest of them
There's one more.
sign leases, then they'll start moving dirt and move out on the project. Tim, did I?
Yeah, I think we would expect dirt to be moved in August or September is, I think, last we had heard. And I think his projected open date is the 4th quarter of 2027 is the goal. So.
Thank you.
You bet. Anybody else?
Good evening. My name is Jeanette Labby Holdeman. I am here for an update on the comprehensive plan. What I am hearing is that we are not able to do as much outreach, or we are not getting as much participation. And so my question would be, what are we going to do to get a lot more participation? I feel that we need to plaster it everywhere if people are to participate. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I know that we've had them at every city event, and we've had a couple events, public events, that they could. Josh, would you like to?
Sure.
I mean, I know they'll be out there on the 3rd of July.
I was going to save this for the end of the evening, but comprehensive plan update. We are almost into phase 3. We have a couple more public engagement sessions, major public engagement sessions. What Jeanette was talking about, the numbers were down, and you heard that for the folks who were behind the dais who were here for the last meeting with Confluence heard that. But afterwards, because of Diana's work, plastering it all over Facebook, putting it up on the front page of the website, we've had an increase of 4 to 5 times, if not a little bit more at this point. I haven't seen numbers recently, but last week numbers had jumped drastically, and we're into the hundreds of individual people who have engaged at this point, I believe. So
I think the school district sent it out on their district-wide email as well.
Yeah.
So we're grateful to the school for that and Diana for facilitating
Yeah.
that. So
Is there anything on the digital sign about it?
I think
Yeah.
there is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are doing what we
Hadn't
can.
noticed.
It just now comes down to we have the tools available, and continue to talk about it with your constituents, continue to share it amongst friends, and get more feedback as we can.
So at an event, we would have, you saying 100 people?
So at the public engagement, so there are 2 pieces to the major public engagement push. One was an in-person workshop downstairs approximately a month ago. That was attended by about 25 to 30 people. what Confluence has done is they've taken that workshop and turned it into an online engagement. So basically everything that you could do downstairs, you can do online through the website. And so we're still getting the same questions are being asked, the same options are, take a dot and put it up on the type of commercial development you want to see. The ability to leave feedback. And then with the mapping, there's a couple of different mapping opportunities downstairs. There's a digital version of that as well, where you can go in and you can drop this is a point of interest, or this is a dangerous intersection, or maybe you need to consider a trail from this point to this point in the city, that type of thing. So that's lansingks.org/brightfuture, all one word. You can get to the website that way.
Josh, can you discuss the Box City coming up on the 12th?
Yeah, so on the 18th, there will be a Box City, which is geared towards children in Lansing, but at the library in the afternoon from 1:30 to 3, I believe. There will be a Box City where parents can bring out the kids and they can talk about what a city needs and what our city needs. And so it's a way to reach out to get the youngest among us, but also to engage parents, because we would love to hear what they have to say after that as well. So.
Okay.
Is this survey going to be in the next newsletter? I mean, not newsletter, the quarterly magazine.
In the connection, it will be,
I'm not
by
sure
the
about the
time
timing.
it gets published, I believe that it will be closed at that point, because it will have been open for about 2.5 months. And so at that point, they need to start, because now they are moving into the draft of the plan phase. They're starting to move in that direction. I think we will be, because of the timeline of the project, which was 12 months, I wanted to get this done, in and out in 1 year. Because of that timeline, we will have about 3 months of that website being up, and at that point it'll be closed. So by the time the connection gets into the hands of the residents, I think it'll be closed.
Is there a way we could ask for it to be extended at least 2 weeks? I mean, it's a holiday at the beginning of the month, so
So let me ask Diana when the connection's actually scheduled to be published. Do you have that date off the top of your head?
It'll be published at the end of July, but Confluence will have a tent.
That's true, yeah. So the Box City will happen on the 18th. The date of the charrette is still to be determined. And then they will be at the Independence Day celebration, July 3rd, Lansing High School, with a tent where they can, residents will be able to walk up and do a number of the activities as well.
Yeah, I mean, they had it out at the Fishing Derby, and they had kind of the same setup they had downstairs
Yep.
for the public meeting, where you could put stickers and write notes.
I was going to say, just even at its most basic level, right out in the lobby, we have those posters where people can put stickers on what they want to see for residential and commercial and everything. So,
But the point is well taken. I'll check the schedule on the website and see if we can add something about
I
it
don't
there.
think it was in the last magazine, right? Am I wrong?
It was, but it was only a small box with a QR code at that point.
Okay.
Having a bit of a space problem.
It was a good problem. We had a lot of things to add to the last connection.
Jeanette, does that answer your question?
I have a follow-up. Sorry, I don't want to take your time. My follow-up is, I've done this multiple times, and they all start off pretty much the same way. My concern is, did we ever look at the previous strategic plan, comprehensive plan, to see how far we've come with that? So that you don't really start at square one every time. Has there been an analysis on that?
Yeah, I think that's part of Confluence's contract.
Another excellent question. So that is also part of my job and the Planning Commission's job every year, is to review the comprehensive plan, see where we're at. In 2023 and 24, and I believe 25, we took a run at updating. This year, we will take a quick look at it, but mostly it's going to be, hey, look, we're in the midst of updating it, so we're gonna get a whole new plan here the next
Right, but
6
they use
months.
that as a starting point.
And then Confluence also looks at all of our strategic plans, wastewater, comprehensive plan, the Parks Master Plan, all of those things are going to be referenced and brought into this new comprehensive plan.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, okay. Anyone else have anything? Josh? Okay. Any other audience participation on an item that isn't on the agenda? No? Okay. So new business. Resolution B8 2026 designating city depositories. Resolution B8 2026 names local banks and savings institution that allows the city to competitively bid to invest idle funds. So I need a motion to adopt Resolution B8 2026 naming banks and savings institutions that are designated as depositories for all city accounts.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is Beth here? Or Tim, do you have this? Or, oh, Beth. Just in case anybody has questions about this one, but this just kind of opens it up to, it's part of the audit, right?
Yeah, this was recommended with the audit. It's also basically, there's been some new laws that have come into play with bankers. They have a new law where we need to solicit bids for anything that we're looking at investing. It used to be we would get some funds and we'd send it to the municipal investment pool because we had plans for it a couple of months down the road. But now any funds before we can move it anywhere other than our local bank, which is Country Club Bank is our main depository, we need to go out for bids to all the local banks. So this is just designating all those local banks so we don't have to come back each time when we're trying to invest in CDs and other types of investments.
All right, everybody good?
What if a bank closes in Lansing? Do they fall off the list?
I mean, potentially they could. We probably wouldn't be contacting them as frequently.
Well, I mean, it'll go out in a notice, right? Like, hey, we want to get a CD for X amount, and then they bid on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
they can,
it just opens them up.
Some of the banks don't bid ever
Well,
either.
just-
So
But instead
this
of
is just
picking one
giving,
bank,
I just remember
We're
when
required
Commerce
for
closed
all.
the move, we took our money out of their bank and moved it to
yeah,
American
we
Bank.
still do business with them, so you'll notice they're on the list.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, some of them choose not to bid. We are required to put it out.
okay. Thanks, Beth. We have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Kowalewski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mrs. Hatcher?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item number 3 is case development final plat 260001. Monroe Manor Phase 2 final plat. The application is for Monroe Manor Phase 2 final plat. The proposed subdivision includes 16.37 acres with 68 total lots, consisting of 64 residential lots and 4 tracts. Property is zoned R2 single unit residential and is proposed to be developed as soon as second phase of the Monroe Manor subdivision. The Planning Commission voted unanimously to approve the final plat and recommended acceptance of applicable dedications by the governing body. So a motion to approve, I need a motion to approve case dev FP 260001, Monroe Manor Phase 2 final plat, and accept the applicable public dedications subject to the conditions recommended by the staff and the Planning Commission.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Is this yours, Josh? Any questions on this one?
The questions I had, Josh answered at the beginning,
Okay.
so I appreciate it, Josh. Thank you.
This is 2 of 3, right?
2 of 3, yes.
Yep.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Kowalewski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mrs. Hatcher?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item number 4 is ordinance number 1149, 206 East Kansas Avenue rezoning. The applicant, Dan Lynch Residential, requests rezoning the property at 206 East Kansas Avenue from R1 suburban residential to R3 mixed density neighborhood district. The rezoning would permit the construction of a duplex by right. So So I need a motion to adopt ordinance number 1149, approving case ZN RZ 260002 and rezoning 206 East Kansas Avenue from R1 suburban residential to R3 mixed density.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one?
This house has been vacant for years, if it's the right one I'm thinking of.
It could be. It was renovated recently in the past, since I've been here, so the past 2 to 3 years.
Drove by,
But
it looked like the one that sat there for,
I'm sure that it was picked up and renovated because, but I'm unaware of its prior history.
well, it looked like it to me. So, but anyway, I'm just wondering if it was the same house.
And we notified property owners around there, right? Did we
Correct.
get anything back from any of the property?
Heard nothing on this one.
Okay. Any other discussion on this one? Okay, we got a motion and a second. Call roll.
Mr. Gardner,
Yes.
Mr. Kirby,
Yes.
Mr. Kowalewski,
Yes.
Mr. Garvey,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Pierce,
Yes.
Mr. Brungard,
Yes.
Mrs. Hatcher.
Yes.
Motion passed. Item number 5 is ordinance number 1150, Lansing Business Center and Gilman rezoning. The applicant, Clint Lumaster, Atlas Land Consulting, on behalf of Development, Inc. and Lansing Business Center, LLC, requests rezoning of vacant properties in and near the Lansing Business Center and Gilman Road area from B3 Regional Business District to A1 Agricultural District to, I guess that's Industrial 1, Light Industrial District. The request includes approximately 24.1 acres and is intended to support marketing and development of the property for light industrial uses. So I need a motion to adopt ordinance number 1150, approving case CN RZ 260003 and rezoning the applicable Lansing Business Center and Gilman Road properties to the I-1 Light Industrial District.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one?
On that, off of Gilman, the big area, track 15 or whatever it is.
Yes, sir.
Do we have any idea what's going in there, or they're just purchasing?
It has been in their possession for a number of years, I believe.
Okay.
And in light of market trends, they want to prep development for that parcel. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to go through this process for somebody else and get it from agriculture to industrial.
Josh, this is consistent with recent rezones in the same area, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Just looked like a prime piece of land over there. That big area is easily developed.
Can you touch on what I-1 means? Like what's involved in industrial?
Yeah, what can go into a I-1?
Yeah, so it's more of your more intense commercial uses. You can have offices. You can have, I'll take Modern Glass for an example. Modern Glass rezoned a property, 1155 Industrial Terrace, I believe, a couple of months ago. They needed a larger warehouse and space with office, and so they were able to rezone to that. One of the things that is more attractive to developers with industrial is the fact that they don't have to meet the commercial design guidelines that we have for more public-facing commercial areas, especially along K7. The light industrial would not necessarily fit in, say, north of City Hall on K7, right? So we would want those properties to be developed at a higher quality of facade, and more glass requirements are required in addition to landscaping. So there are higher standards for commercial B3 projects. Light industrial allows people to build buildings in industrial areas or places that would be good for industrial and not have to meet those types of requirements.
So just because it's industrial doesn't mean there's going to be smokestacks or any environmental concerns or anything that most of us immediately think of when we hear industrial?
No. So what I'm anticipating on at least one of these sites would be a one-story building with a couple thousand feet of office space, and then a warehouse connected to that property with maybe a 16-foot garage doors. So nothing too terribly crazy.
Thanks.
Looking into the future, if we don't know what's going in there, they approach the city. Okay, there's a real nice Cherokee Valley Farms right next to that prime piece of
Okay.
real estate there, so I hope we keep that in mind when we decide on who we put there.
Okay.
I mean, they've been there since 1989, from what I understand, so, and still looks well kept.
Yes, sir.
Anything else for Josh? No? Good. We have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Mr. Gardner,
Yes.
Mr. Kirby,
Yes.
Mr. Kowalski,
Yes.
Mr. Garvey,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Pierce,
Yes.
Mr. Brungard,
Yes.
Mrs. Hatcher.
Yes.
Motion passed. Item number 6 is Resolution B5, 2026, KCN CUP 260001, 109 Fairlane short-term rental. The applicant is Jeremy Greenemeyer from Greenemeyer Rentals. Requests approval of a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental at 109 Fairlane Street. The property is located within the Fairlane Townhomes area and is zoned R4 multifamily residential district and is designated commercial. Proposed short-term rental would operate with an existing townhome unit. So I need a motion to approve Resolution B5 2026, approving case ZN CUP 260001 for a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental at 109 Fairlane Street, subject to the conditions and recommendations by staff and the Planning Commission.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one?
Have we received any feedback from local residents?
No, sir.
And this is already rental property.
Yeah, these are all rentals anyway.
Correct.
Right? Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Just not short-term. Anybody else got anything on this one? No? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Mr. Gardner,
No.
Mr. Kirby,
Yes.
Mr. Kowalski,
Yes.
Mr. Garvey,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
No.
Mr. Pierce,
No.
Mr. Brungard,
Yes.
Mrs. Hatcher.
Yes.
Motion passed 4-3. I'm sorry. 4-4. Wait a minute.
5-3.
5-3, I'm sorry. I was going to say I miscounted. About to vote myself. Okay, so motion passed. Item number 7 is Resolution B6, 2026, KCN CUP 260002, 105 Highland Short-Term Rental. The applicant is Matthew Budke. Requests approval of a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental at 105 Highland Street. Property is zoned R2, single-unit residential, and is designated as a single-family residential. Request would allow short-term rental use within an existing single-family dwelling. So I need a motion to approve Resolution number B6, 2026, approving case ZNCUP 260002 for a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental at 105 Highland Street, subject to the conditions recommended by the Staff and
So moved.
Planning Commission. I'm sorry.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one?
Maybe one thing I'll just remind the council about, the council is within their authority to
Pull
modify. Pull the conditional use permit if there are issues. I think normal CUPs are for 5 years. If there's a concern about one or another, it could be 1 year, it could be 3 years, it could be 5 years. So, I mean, you guys do have flexibility. Just want to make sure everyone is aware of that, that the council has authority to revoke it after it's approved if there are issues.
Right.
Is there any kind of annual inspection associated with this?
There will be an annual business license renewal. The inspection, that could be addressed through some policy updates.
Okay, thank you.
Tim, what are some of the reasons for revoking
the permit.
I think if there were several code enforcement issues, you guys could do that. I think if the police were constantly being called there, I think you guys could do that. I think if the neighbors were complaining to you guys, I think you could do that. I mean, like we had kind of mentioned a moment ago, this one, notice was sent to everybody within 200 feet. To my knowledge, we didn't receive any negative feedback about this one.
No, we did
So yeah, you guys have some level of flexibility if there are issues after it's approved.
How long would that process take? I know we'd have to have a meeting
So-
to pull it.
So in order to revoke a conditional use permit, you would essentially walk through the same process. So it would be about 60 days. If you found, if you instructed staff to re-notify the area, you would take it through the planning commission. We would discuss the fact that they have not.
60 days, you said?
Yes.
So if a resident, say the neighbor came to the meeting to complain about the house and say they're under a conditional use permit, I would like to request their permit be pulled, we couldn't address that at that meeting.
You could start the process at that point, and we could bring the applicant in or have a conversation with the applicant about the conditional use permit. And then
I would wonder, maybe that's something we can verify with Greg a little bit more, because I would imagine revoking could be just purely council and not have to go before the planning commission if we're revoking something. Not if we're granting, but if we are revoking. So I would guess just a couple of weeks, but I know we're putting you on the spot, Greg, but my guess would be a couple of weeks,
Obviously,
shooting
if
from the
somebody
hip.
gets a conditional use permit, they're now having a property interest, and you'd have to give them notice, you'd have to give them due process, things of that nature. Now, whether it takes 30, 60 days, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head right now, but
Tish did mention to me, we can revoke the business license immediately. So even if, I guess, the conditional use permit takes 1 month, 2 months, whatever, we could revoke the business license.
Okay.
Okay, let me throw out that scenario. If there's a incident where the police had to be called, would that be a lengthy process, or could that be taken care of right away?
well, I think you'd have to determine why the police were called.
Okay.
I mean,
Yes.
is it an emergency
Yeah.
call? Is it a issue with the quote user tenant, if you want to say? But what's the issue? You got to have a basis, right? Just because the police are called there. Now, I'm presuming that you're going with was it a domestic violence situation? Was it a loud party? What we got to know what the issue is.
Yeah.
You just can't, because police show up there, all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's a red flag, because we don't know what they're there for. So, but if it is reported back, then perhaps if it is like, a police call for service that is actually a criminal in nature, then that's something that the police department could notify staff. Then we make it way to Tish to see if that's something we'd look at for business licensing issues and things of that nature. But I think we got to be careful that, it just can't, I would say a standalone single issue probably wouldn't be something that you'd want to just drop the hammer on something, because things happen. I mean, are we going to revoke the license of the hotel because somebody gets unruly and they get dragged out and arrested by Steve's department? I don't think we would. So we've got to, take things as they come and what the facts support.
You're saying like we probably need to put in a better policy in place for the short-term rentals. That way it's like,
Well, I don't know that it'd have to be, you can make things so onerous that then why have them anyway? Then nobody's going to apply, because you can't control every aspect. We can sit here and probably make a list of 1,000 things why a body might want to revoke somebody's permit or their business permit. But is that going to be effective? Now, if you want to make it so overbearing that nobody wants to do it, then that can be the policy as well, basically. So,
I mean, So didn't we put out a policy that started this whole thing? Was this the Airbnb kind of
Yes.
policy, right?
Two
So if you
ye-
wanted to run one, you had to put in a conditional use permit.
Correct.
So I mean, it's up to you guys whether you want them to run an Airbnb at that location or not. I mean, that's the whole thing. the conditional use permit gives them the authority to do it with restrictions, meaning if they, if we have a lot of complaints, we can go back and pull it. But that's what's driving this.
I had one more question. Do we collect guest tax from these Airbnbs?
That is one of the reasons why we instituted this. First off, there was no pathway for somebody to do this legally. And then secondly, it was because now we can go and talk to Airbnb and say, you have these properties in the city. We require the transient guest tax to be collected from these properties.
And that seems to be the norm these days, or at least most that I know of. Any of these cities that allow this and have short-term rentals, they if they're on the sites, then those sites are aware which cities have the transient guest tax, then they're supposed to charge that and then remit it. Now, I don't have any experience on that actually happened or not, but I know that in some cities that's kind of the norm. So
Does Airbnb pay the city, or does the owner of the rental?
no, it's when it's paid through the fee, then Airbnb is to then take out the tax portion and send it, my understanding.
But also, all of that stuff goes through the state. So, I mean, it's kind of lumped together. We don't get a direct check from any of our businesses. They submit those reports to the state, and then we get it 2 or 3 months later.
Thank you.
Because it should be based on zip code, if I'm not mistaken. Then when the state gets it and collects it by zip code, that's how they know where it should go.
One of my issues was the 5-year period, and I was unaware of what Tim brought up, so thank you for sharing that with us. But yeah, 5 years seems excessive, especially if we do have problems, but knowing that we can revoke the permit, it makes it a little bit more palatable. Thank you.
Yeah. And to tack on to that and to answer Mr. Garvey's question in a better form, there is a termination clause in the UDO which says that the conditional use permit may be withdrawn, set aside, canceled, and rescinded by the governing body for good cause upon majority vote of the governing body with a written petition signed and acknowledged by a notary public by property owners within the area or by a motion of the governing body. So there is a pathway to be able to handle that. I believe that, anyway, I'll stop talking. So.
Is that the 60-day thing you were talking about earlier?
This would seem to say that there is less than 60 days. I thought that there was a statute that I have not been able to find that said that a conditional use permit revocation had to go through the process again. I will follow up on that and figure out which one that is.
Well, notice would, because there is a property interest, notice would have to be given. We can double check, see what that time frame would be. But it seems like that it would be a little bit of a shorter time for sure. Complaint driven, petition, then the people would have to be notified, that being the homeowner and that, so they can present whatever evidence they may have, and also whoever the petitioner is can present their evidence, and then the board can decide whatever the fate of that permit would be, or the conditional use permit would be.
They would just have to submit that before the meeting. So if we have, like tonight's meeting, if they submit it tomorrow, then they got to wait 2 weeks.
Sure.
You know.
I suppose if it was something incredibly serious, we could do a special meeting or something.
I'm always available. All right. We have a motion and a second on this. If there's nothing else, call the roll.
Mr. Gardner?
No.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Kowalski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
No.
Mr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mrs. Hatcher?
Yes.
Okay, motion passed on that one. Item number 8 is resolution number B7 2026, KCN CUP 260003, 602 North DeSoto short-term rental. The applicant, and I'm probably going to mess this name up, but Mohammed Tofa. Okay. Request approval of a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental at 602 North DeSoto Road. Property is used as a single-family dwelling and is designated single-family residential. Planning Commission recommended approval by a vote of 3-2 with 1 recusal. So I need a motion to approve resolution B7, 2026, approval case ZNCUP 26003 for a conditional use permit to operate as a short-term rental at 602 North DeSoto Road, subject to the conditions recommended by staff and planning commission.
And you guys can discuss before there's a motion on the floor. So
Okay.
remind everybody of that.
We can, not typical, but we can, I'm opening it for discussion now.
Well, I'll start. You have people in the audience that have spoke before. In the last meeting I spoke, and I thought it was I thought it was great that you guys came and spoke, and I felt that we didn't do you justice at the planning commission. Therefore, I spoke up the next night. I've had a conversation with people that have also put in, but anyway, my point is, we live in an HOA. We knew what we were going to do when we signed the paperwork for the HOA. We knew who our neighbors were, and one of the reasons I voted the way I did on the first one was because you can turn all of those into, and you have a free-for-all. You have private party. I mean, when I say private party, an owner that owns their house and it's not an HOA, do what you want. People that live in an HOA choose to live in an HOA for a reason. And I'm here supporting that decision. So, and it's up to the HOA to enforce it, 100%.
There are some people here if they want to come up and
Yeah, I mean,
speak.
anyone in the audience want to talk on this item?
I encourage them to be here, so let's hear them out.
My name is Ginger Riddle. I'm a board member for the Woodland Hills HOA, and we do have restrictions that prevent short-term rentals of less than a year. So that's our main objection. There's provision for the board to make an exception to that, but the owner has not requested an exception. And so, because that is a legally filed document with the Registrar of Deeds, it's our position that short-term rentals are not permitted in that residence.
My concern was the property not being taken care of appropriately. And I've experienced that to some degree. I'm experiencing that now, and it's frustrating. So
Yeah. Well,
that plays a part.
The owner's dues are in arrears.
Pardon me?
The owner's homeowner association dues are in arrears at this point.
Yeah, that's very concerning also. So
I drove by that residence today, and the yard is unkept.
And another concern that I have is that we just gave a 4-story hotel tax breaks to, and we don't even know what that's going to look like. And we are opening up Airbnbs throughout the entire. Just be careful, because the comprehensive plan. One of the things that people were saying, I love this community. I love the community. I love the bedroom community. I love, it's a retirement community. And I don't want it to turn into someplace else. And, people stand up, and a lot of times some people may get intimidated. I've been here all my life. I've been here for 30 years. I haven't. I moved here in 2022. And I will tell you, I've been places where I know I don't want this to turn into. And by opening up the Airbnb with no restrictions at all, we set ourselves up for problems down the road. So just be careful. That's all I'm asking.
Just so I'm tracking, we do have restrictions. All these are conditional use permits, so we're not just saying, hey, anybody can have an Airbnb. So, you have the power, the governing body has the power to pull those if something's not working right.
Correct.
So,
Yes.
I don't want to mix it up, but we do retain the power to pull those conditional uses.
Yeah, Section 3 of your resolution contains 13 conditions.
I got it.
So,
No, I was just making a point. He made a point, I was making the counterpoint, which is we do have the power to kind of pull those.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't get out of hand, but I get his point.
And one other thing too, why I threw that out there about having discussion before there's a motion is, again, if the council wanted to, they could approve it for 1 month. They could approve it for 6 months, whatever, or you could deny it. The other thing I think to note too regarding restrictions and regulations, if you guys look at, I think it's page 105 in the council packet. So I mean, our building inspector did a pretty thorough inspection, and there are issues. Much more so on this one than there were on the previous two, I would say. But again, these people are following the rules in the sense that they filled out the application, it went to the planning commission, and then it goes before you guys. So we're just putting it before you guys. I'm not sure staff is advocating for this one way or the other, but we are putting it before you guys because it was approved by the planning commission.
Well, there's a process in place for the homeowner to follow. And my understanding, he hasn't followed it. So I'm not interested in the city getting wrapped up in it. Because what happens then, somewhere down the road, somebody else that belongs to a homeowner association doesn't like something, well, I'll go to City Hall. Like Chris said, you signed a contract, live by it.
And I'd like to be clear, like, I agree with you, like, we could, woulda, shoulda, coulda, we could go down a rabbit hole of what could happen. I'm not saying what could happen, I'm saying overall in general, if we get in the habit of being comfortable with Airbnbs, you might have a lot of people that go, this is not the community I want to be living in, and sell, and then other people come in and buy these properties just for that purpose. And I understand that we can revoke those at any time. So, Mayor, I wasn't talking about.
Right. And, you know, I don't get a vote unless you guys tie it up.
Right.
Let's tie that.
But I mean, the homeowners association, you know, they've already said they don't meet, you know, they haven't met their requirements.
Right.
I know they went through the city process, but then we're kind of just trumping into them. And I mean, isn't that a legal issue that we don't want to get wrapped into there?
Yes, Mayor. I would say the city needs to stay away from it, and I'll give you an example just based on the evidence that was presented here this evening. On the one hand, an HOA, which they have their rights and all that, their standards are different than the city's. Right. We have a floor, they have a ceiling, right? And we don't want to get in the business of enforcing their ceiling to our floor. And the thing I would notice here is that we've heard comments about unkept yards. Well, is the HOA, do they have provisions in their bylaws or whatever their contract is to take care of that? Does the HOA, should they now contract with somebody to go mow it to make it look nice? Or is the HOA sitting back wanting the city to come out and cite it to make it our own mow, and then we put it on the tax rolls and the liens? Or should the HOA be doing that? So we want no part of this. If it's rejected for other reasons, fine. I mean, that's this board's position. But we don't want to get in the business of either supporting or not supporting HOA contracts, because that's between the people that live there, not between us and the HOA. So
you can stay away from it.
In my opinion.
And again, my point in referencing page 105 in the agenda packet is there is a laundry list of things that are issues that are not HOA related.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, those are all conditions, right?
I think the biggest difference between the first two and this one, though, is there's people here that are opposed to it. The first two, there weren't.
Right. I mean, there's already people complaining about it.
Right.
We haven't.
See, Mr. Garvey, my only comment is we just stay away from HOAs. If there's other reasons to deny it, then that's your business.
But people voicing their opinion that they're opposed to it is enough to say no.
Yeah.
And pass the first two because nobody was opposed to it.
Right. Well, and you have other issues as well. You've already had presented of unkempt yards, you know, things that just aren't living up to the standard of even the city. Because if he's not mowing his grass, well, then it's kind of interesting somebody mentioned that, because now it's like, well, should we be enforcing it if it is outside of the limits of our code, or is the HOA, do they have their own code, and are they supposed to enforce it? I don't know.
Yeah, well, all those things that were found were our codes. Those weren't HOA codes, so, yeah.
Tim, let me ask a procedural question then, since looks like this says a motion to approve. do we have to make a motion to approve, second it, and then vote it down?
You could make a
or-
motion to deny.
Okay.
You can
so
make a motion to
if it's
approve or
not in there,
deny.
we can also make a motion to not approve, to deny, I mean.
We don't get a motion, it just.
Well, there's
Yeah,
two
that
ways
was
to
my
do
other
it.
question.
Well,
If we don't get a motion in a
that's
second-
kind of a linguistical, stylistic. So if you, let's say, Mr. Gardner, you made a motion to approve.
Yeah.
Well, and if it's unanimous no, well, it doesn't pass.
Right.
But if you make a motion to disapprove, well, then it needs to be unanimous, if that's the intent of the board.
Yeah,
There's been
that's not in
times
there.
when we in the past we've kind of reversed ourselves in the way it's moved. So I think it'd be clearer if there was a motion to deny, if that's.
I'll make a
That's
motion
why I
to
asked.
deny resolution number B7, 2026, denying case ZNCUP 260003 for a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental at 602 North DeSoto Road.
I second.
Clear now?
Have a motion and a second to deny resolution number B7, 2026. Any further discussion on this? Okay, call the roll.
Mr. Gardner.
Yes.
Mr. Kirby.
Yes.
Mr. Kowalewski.
Yes.
Mr. Garvey.
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Mr. Pierce.
Yes.
Mr. Brungard.
Yes.
Mrs. Hatcher.
Yes.
Motion passed, which was to deny. Okay, reports.
To deny.
To deny, yes.
To deny.
The administrator, you got a report?
Nope.
No? Okay. City attorney.
Nothing to report, Mayor.
Okay.
He's muddied the waters now.
And you have nothing tonight, Tim? Okay. Department heads, anything? Nope.
Independence Day, July 3rd.
July 3rd, Independence Day, yes. And we'll go around the horn, start with you, Kevin.
When Lance, a fellow bus driver, alerted me some news. It's this time appropriate since the summer's beginning. The Lansing High School girls swim team won the state championship this year, so congratulations to them. And I read through it. A child from each level contributed to the point total, and I believe they entered 10 events, and 2 of those they finished second, and 4 of them they finished first. So congratulations to them and Coach Bresser and Assistant Coach Ashford. That's all I have.
All right, thanks, Tim. Gene?
Tom, Mr. Lahan, there isn't anybody more frustrated than you than this council about the progress being made. That being said, I was here when we got Quick Trip, and that took years to get. It's very frustrating. It moves very slowly, and that's the best we can tell you right now, but that's just the way it goes.
Moving quicker than when the city didn't own it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It just takes time. It's frustrating, I know. We'd like to get that up and running and going, and that's all I have.
All right, thanks.
Good.
Okay, Jay.
Nothing
No?
right.
Jesse?
I would like to ask our Public Works Director, Mike Spickelmeyer, to inspect the light at Ida and Main Street again. I get complaints about
I
that
second.
all the time. And I go through there all the time myself, but I hear complaints from other people, especially my wife. But you can pull up to that light, and you can sit there forever. And one of these days I'm going to make a video of it, because there won't be any traffic coming at all. And like, for instance, I was talking to my wife, and she was on her way to work the other morning, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning. And she pulls up the light. I'm talking to her on the phone, and she's going, sitting here, sitting here, sitting here. And she's like, there's nothing even coming. I'm like, well, just run it.
Just
And she ran, and of course, gets up to Dairy Queen, and here comes a Lansing police officer down. They pull around like you didn't see anything.
That's a
But anyway.
self-admitted citation, right?
But can you have someone look at that light and figure out why that thing doesn't work properly? There's something wrong.
I know
with that
they've
light.
looked at it, yeah.
I'll be happy to reach out to OGL and put in a work order to have them reevaluate the detectors.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've seen 4 or 5 cars line up in the turning lane and nothing be coming from either direction.
Mr. Garvey, just so the public doesn't think your wife is breaking the law, there is what they call a dead red statute. So if you sit there for too long, you can actually proceed.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Unless they've taken it out, but a few years ago they did.
I was going to say, what's too long?
That's dangerous to tell me.
I'm gonna
Well,
ask- we're gonna
well, my
scratch
understanding
that from
was
the
it
record.
changed. They made a change. Now again, if this thing's been revoked, then it's my bad. But the reason they put it in was because motorcyclists would pull up and they wouldn't trip it. So if you sat there long enough, then you were, proceed with caution like it was a stop sign. So.
I like to get that in writing.
Do all your
But
offices.
I can't tell you how many minutes it is, but, because normally what happens is you take off and then it's like, it changes. It's like, uh-oh.
In
So-
case we're not putting that in the minutes, just so you know how many minutes.
Thanks, guys. That's
Those
all I
don't
got.
go in the minutes. Let's see, was that it?
That's it.
All right, Pete?
Nothing tonight, sir.
All right, thanks. Chris?
Thank you again for coming and speaking last week. I would like to meet with Josh. A couple of people have contacted me in reference to the comprehensive plan, basically some of the same concerns that Jeanette had. And I'd like to voice those. There's no need to do it here, but I want to make it. Before I forget, I would like to talk to you guys about the way forward, because I believe we're not meeting for the next 2 months. Well, we'll see each other at the third meeting, July 3rd. And that's all I have.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Chris. Karen?
I have a question. Bill Lynn, is he swamped?
Yes.
Okay. Have we considered getting him some help, or are we at that stage to get him some assistance?
That is an excellent budget question, I think.
Has that ever come up? I'm serious.
We-
Has that
we-
ever come
we
up
have-
in discussion?
We have discussed it before, yes.
Okay.
So-
And the reason I ask, and I think you guys know me well enough, I don't like to air dirty laundry in public.
Mhm.
But if I were not on the council, I would be very aggressive through all the legal channels in acting professional, not like a psycho. But there's a property in my neighborhood, and it's driving me crazy, and it's some of my neighbors, they're very unhappy also.
Yes.
And I don't know what to tell them, and right now I feel like a failure because we're not seeing any movement.
June 10th is the court date.
So there is a court date.
I was going to say, we served them with a police officer present, is my understanding.
Oh, that is awesome news.
Yep. Good news on that one.
So you said June 10th?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll verify that with Bill, but I'm
Okay.
fairly positive that would be next
Bill
week.
can stay busy in the spring and summer, just going around citing people who don't cut their grass.
Right.
That is correct.
He spends, as I understand, at the right time of the year, 90% of his time doing that. Nothing but getting people to cut their grass.
Correct.
I like Bill a lot, but if he is so overwhelmed and can't get his head above water, then I think we need to see if we can get him some help or address the issue at least, or
Sure.
at least begin a conversation. So,
I think I've told a number of you, we could keep a couple of, more than two. Let's just say that. We could keep more than two people busy with 40-hour workloads with code enforcement. But
Some of this stuff needs to be discussed more internally rather than publicly, I feel like.
Right.
Sure.
And you shared that there's a court date. So would you rather talk not
Sure.
in open session about that, or how would you like to do that? Because I don't want to.
Sure.
beat a dead
We can carry on the conversation either tonight or tomorrow.
Okay. I very much appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Did Gary?
I'm finished, yes. Sorry.
Okay. Rebecca?
Don't look at my lawn.
Uh-oh.
But anyways, I checked out the library this last week. Took the kiddo. It looks amazing. And there's a whole bunch of activities this summer for the kids to do. They have meals available for the youngsters, so I recommend checking it out, checking out the new bookshelves. They have a lot of activities. Also took a little field trip to the aquatic center. That was pretty fun
Very nice.
for the kids, but yeah. Anyways, that's all I have to say today.
Except for
Make a motion to close.
Your turn.
Well, close
I
the
have-
time.
Yeah. I have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
And a second. Call roll.
Mr. Gardner.
Yes.
Mr. Kirby.
Yes.
Mr. Kowalewski.
Yes.
Mr. Garvey.
No.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Mr. Pierce.
Yes.
Mr. Brungard.
Calling me.
Yes.
Mrs. Hatcher.
Yes.